2026, every smart glasses company is racing to put a camera on your face. One company looked at that race and walked the other way. And the bet that they're making is weirder than it sounds. It's called the MemoMind One. It's built by XGIMI, the projector company. And I tried the pre-production unit at their New York launch last month, so this is first impressions, not a full review. Also, MemoMind is supporting this channel by sponsoring this video, and the deal was simple: show what I saw, say what I think, so that's what we're doing. Coming up, what these actually are, the feature I keep thinking about, the part that surprised me as an XR nerd, and the real reasons you might want to wait. Now, if you wear glasses every day, if you forget small stuff constantly, or if you watch the AI glasses category closely, this one's for you. Okay, so quick context, because the smart glasses category is genuinely getting crowded right now. The Even Realities G2 won me over with minimal quiet usefulness, but it has no audio. The Meta Ray-Ban display goes the loud way, camera first, richer visuals, but you wear a camera on your face. The MemoMind One sits in a spot I have not seen yet. It has audio, it has no camera, and it leans hard into being context-aware without being in your way. Built by XGIMI, who you probably know from their projector, so they really understand displays, and you can feel that in the hardware. There are two micro LED displays, one per lens, that together float a monochrome green image 1 to 5 meters out in front of you. You can pick the distance yourself. Monochrome green, same approach even uses, same reason. Your eyes is most sensitive to green, so it reads brightest at the lowest power. That means more brightness and longer battery life. Side note, when I first heard monochrome green, I thought it would look like a 90s pager. It does not. It looks like a clean notification floating in mid-air, way better than I expected. The display gets up to 2000 nits, which to me is the spec that really matters because it means you can read it walking around outside. I tested it in NYC sunlight and it held up. Audio is where it splits from even. The MemoMind One has Harman Audio EFX speakers built in, which means you can hear notifications, navigation prompts, or the AI assistant without pulling out earbuds. For me, this is the real selling point. Sometimes you just want audio, like for music. Sometimes you don't, like reading a translation mid-conversation, way less distracting than hearing it. With MemoMind, you get the choice. Their frames are beta titanium, around 46 grams with full-size prescription support. You can get them in 3 shapes: Nomad, Gotham, and Archive, plus a custom line with 7 colorways total. Most smart glasses give you 1 or 2 options. 7 is unusual, and it makes a difference when you're wearing these all day. Because glasses are personal, you want a pair you would pick even if there was no tech inside, not something that screams gadget. For battery, MemoMind is claiming 16 plus hours. Now I cannot verify that until I have my final pair, but for an all-day product, that claim is going to make or break it. Now, MemoMind made a really deliberate choice not to put a camera on these, which in 2026 is a contrarian bet. Most of the AI glasses category right now, including the Ray-Ban display I covered a while ago, is going camera first. The reason MemoMind went the other way comes down to social comfort and privacy. A camera on your face changes how everyone around you acts, right? Taking it off removes that tension. But these glasses still record audio, and that is still privacy sensitive, so MemoMind went further than just removing the camera. Privacy is built into the hardware itself. Sensitive work happens on the glasses. Anything that leaves is encrypted, so no raw audio ends up in the cloud. And you decide when MemoMind captures what it keeps and who can unlock it. You can edit, filter, or remove anything anytime, which is great news. Now here's what I noticed in New York. Strangers did not react because they just look like glasses, but the people who follow XR all landed the same question: where does the data actually go? And once they got the real answer, like the on-device first, encrypted in transit, you control what stays, the tone in the room changed. These are not glasses you have to defend in public, and that is rarer than it should be in 2026. Camera-first AI glasses can absolutely do more in some scenarios, but MemoMind is making the bet that what you really need most of the time is not visual input, it is context and memory. And if you already wear glasses every day, that bet makes a lot of sense. Alright, the feature I keep thinking about, it's called AI long memory. Here's what it does. When you have it on, the glasses passively listen during the day. So conversations, things you mention, things you say you want want or need to do, then it surfaces them later in 3 different ways. First, Wishlists. If you casually mention something like, I really need to pick up some new running shoes, it captures that and can bring it back to you later with the context of when and where you said it. Second, Moments. It generates a daily journal and a weekly summary of what you really did, not steps and heart rate, a real narrative. Third, AI suggestions. It starts learning your patterns and proposes calendar entries and to-dos that match the way you live. I've used even realities and the Meta Ray-Bans. They all do useful things, but none of them tries to be a passive long-term memory. The reason I keep thinking about this is the form factor. Glasses you actually wear all day are currently the only place this could work. A pin you forget to clip on cannot remember anything for you. Here's the part that quietly broke my brain. I'm one of those people who forgets things constantly. A name from a meeting, the book someone recommended, the idea I had on a walk, so the pitch of a passive memory that quietly catches what I miss, that hits different. The goal isn't to make me forget more, it's to have a companion in case I do that quietly has my back. Now, real talk caveat time. I have not lived with this feature yet and not everything is available to test yet. A passive memory only really proves itself after weeks of real use, not a few demo sessions, so I cannot tell you how useful it is day to day yet. I'm going to live with the final unit for a few weeks after launch and do a proper long-term review, so subscribe so you don't miss it. One more thing, AI long memory lives inside Memo Plus, a paid layer. Early Kickstarter backers get it free for a year, but we'll come back to that part. Before I get into the part that surprised me as an XR nerd, quick word on how you actually control these, because that matters more than people realize on a device you wear on your face. Here you've got 3 input methods, a single button on the right frame, your voice and head gestures. It's 3 dots so you can turn your head left and right and use a button to select. It's designed to be simple that way, and for most things it is enough. Personally though, I like having a controller. Reaching up to the side of your face every time you want to do something gets old fast, and I asked XGIMI about this, and so they told me that MemoMind will support third-party Bluetooth controllers down the line. It is not live yet, so I cannot test it, but if they ship that, it is a big deal. It means you can pair something like the Mudra Neural wristband, the same one I use with my VR headset, and use it for these too. One controller across multiple devices, that's the kind of thing the smart glasses category has been missing. Now here's the part that genuinely surprised me, and this one's for the XR nerds in the audience. MemoMind is built open. At the core, it is what they call a multi-LLM hybrid operating system. In plain English, they are not married to one AI provider. There is an AI token war happening right now between OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and the rest, and instead of locking you into one model forever, MemoMind picks whichever AI is best for whichever task. Translation, summarization, reasoning, all routed behind the scenes. Why does that matter to you? Because the best AI model 6 months from now probably isn't the best one today, and on most other AI glasses you are stuck with whoever the company picked at launch. MemoMind is built to swap, which on a device you might wear for the next 2 years matters a lot, right? The other thing I did not expect is MemoMind is built to embrace OpenClaw style integrations. OpenClaw in plain English is an open agentic framework. So a system where you can chain AI assistants and apps together and have one of them take action across the others. They demoed this at the launch event. Picture your AI workflow firing off commands to your glasses. So you can turn on translation, start a recording, capture a note, all triggered by something else in your stack. To be clear, this is not a shipped feature yet. MemoMind has been careful with their wording on this, and so will I. They showed it working in New York, but they have not committed to how or when it lands in the final product. So treat this as a direction, not a promise, but if it ships, it is genuinely exciting. Now, most viewers do not need to build any of this, but the fact that the door is open is the signal. Closed AI glasses lock you into one company's roadmap. Open ones grow with the rest of the AI ecosystem. And that alone makes this one of the more interesting AI glasses launches I have seen. Alright, a couple of features I want to flag before we get into the honest stuff. First, the AI recorder. You can record a meeting, a lecture, or a conversation, and instead of getting one generic summary, you actually pick the lens. Lecture notes optimized for studying, choose that. Meeting summary with action items, choose that one. Quick bullet points for a follow-up email, different style again. That is smarter than most of the page transcription apps I use today. One small but really useful detail, you can choose your audio source. The glasses microphones or your phone's mic, so you can use your phone in a noisy environment and the glasses mic when you are in a quiet room. Second, calendar and idea notes. Calendar connects to Google Calendar and CallDAV, which means it can connect to a lot of different calendars, which sounds boring until you realize most smart glasses do not sync to all calendars yet. Idea notes is just a hands-free way to dump a thoughts while you're walking around. Honestly, I had a few good script ideas walking through Soho with these on. Normally, those die in my head before I get back to my desk. Translation is there too, with 26 plus languages, a listen-in mode, and a dialogue mode for back and forth conversations, and offline translation is coming later. I'll give you a quick sweep of the rest of the AI suite because I don't want to spec sheet you to that. There's Memo AI, the hands-free assistant you talk to, AI captions, live subtitles with an instant Q&A mode, and a smart listen mode, so it's not just transcribing, it's actually following what's being said. This mode is similar to Even Reality's Conversate actually. AI teleprompter, which displays scripts or notes in your line of sight, and as someone who reads scripts for a living, this is a must-have feature. And a map view that puts walking and cycling directions right in front of you instead of you fumbling with your phone. Most AI glasses have versions of these. MemoMind ships the full set on day one. Okay, the honest section. 3 things I want you to know before you deposit anything. 1, this is first impressions. I had a few sessions with them at the launch event and after the event with this pre-production unit, but I have not lived with them yet. Final firmware ships closer to launch, and battery life under continuous recording is one of the things I want to actually measure once I get my final pair. 2, the subscription situation, and this one is interesting. There's a free plan and it's not a trial. You get Memo AI, translator, recorder, captions, teleprompter, map, calendar, idea notes forever for $0. That is more than most AI recorders give you at any price. Memo Plus is $20 a month and it's the only paid layer. It unlocks AI long memory, the moments, wishlists, and AI suggestions I talked about. So the feature I keep thinking about is the one behind the paywall. Annoying, a little, fair. Also, yes, AI long memory is real software running in the cloud, and that costs them money every month you use it. So I get it, doesn't mean I love it. Early Kickstarter depositors get a full year of Ultra included, which is great, but go in knowing what year 2 looks like. 3, no camera also means no photo capture, no point and ask vision AI. So if that's the smart glasses dream for you, this is the wrong pair, and the Ray-Ban display or whatever Google does next is probably more your speed. For everyone else, I think the camera-free beds could be the right one. Now, straight up, if you already wear glasses every day and you want help being more present and remembering more, this is the one I would reserve a spot for. And if you're considering it, the timing matters. Pre-orders are open right now at MemoMind.com. A $30 refundable deposit locks in $399 instead of the $599 retail price after launch. You also get a full year of the Pro plan and clip-on sunglasses included. The Kickstarter goes live on June 28th. I think it's a good deal because the deposit is fully refundable, so you can decide later but get the price now. So I will put the link in the description. Now, I said at the start that one company in this category walked the other way. After spending some time with the MemoMind One, I get why these are the first AI glasses that did not make me feel like a walking sensor. I mean, that counts for something. MemoMind's tagline is crafted for the mindful, a bit corporate, sure, but it tracks with the bet they're making. Now, would you wear a pair of AI glasses with no camera but always on audio if the privacy controls were this strict? Or is audio capture already a step too far for you? Tell me where you draw the line. Full long-term review coming once I have my final pair, so see you in the next one.